Hello and welcome back to Read Becca for the end of the year. It has really crept up on me. I can't believe it is here already. I am someone who holds off until we are in the new year before I wrap up what happened and look back at favorites. So those will be forthcoming. But what I can do right now is look forward to the things I want to accomplish in 2024, as I am still racing to accomplish all I want to in 2023. It's a lot, but this year, my goals and plans are so exciting. I'm really looking forward to what I've got lined up. So this is going to be my 2024 goals and plans video. I have kept it pretty light. It's not quite as loosey-goosey plans as this year was in 2023, but it is still, and I would say more than ever, it is much more about following my joy than creating a list of chores to tick off. I feel a lot better about that. So it is a very joyful and I think easy list for me. So let's get into the goals because I'm really excited. The first one is the kind of chore one. Goal number 1 is going to be 12 series finishes or catch-ups. I think all of us on Booktube are ever on the treadmill of series, trying to keep up with the new books coming out, starting new series and not keeping up with sequels. It is very difficult and I am the worst at it. This is something I grapple with every year, so it keeps coming back. So this is a return from the past every single year. I did make a slight tweak and I'll talk about it more, I think, in my goals video when I wrap up 2023, but I did change it from just finishes to catch-ups. Goal number 2 is, I'm calling it spontaneous nonfiction. So I'm going to do 12 spontaneous nonfiction. This is adapted from a goal from 2023 where I set out to go browse my bestsellers shelf at the library once a month. By the 15th of the month, I had to have picked out a book from the bestsellers shelf at least. Not read it, but just simply picked one out every single month and then try it at some point before I have to return it. So I'm taking that and adapting that to nonfiction, mainly because the past couple of years I have put reading history or historical fiction onto my list of things to keep an eye on. Not as an official goal, but like this might need to be added. Mostly because I was feeling like I wasn't reading enough history or historical fiction because I was really excited about it. And then every year I was like, yeah, I'm reading plenty of this. I don't really need a goal for it. But that should have told me what I needed to know, that I'm really excited about it and it should be on my goals. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to go browse the nonfiction shelves, and specifically the areas where I'm feeling the excitement about right now are in nature and history. And so every time I go over there, specifically I went over there for Booktube Prize quite a bit, it was like half a dozen things would jump off the shelf at me. And I'm like, I don't have time to read this right now. And so that's always my problem. I do browse my library a ton, but doing a full browse of the nonfiction section happens much more rarely than the fiction section. And very often I already have an armload of fiction when I'm heading over to nonfiction to check it out, and I just don't feel I have room. So I need to prioritize going over there and looking and just browsing and the joy of browsing. So that's what I'm gonna do. This one is sort of at odds with a later goal, as you will see, but I've made it work. So the next goal, 3, is 12 books that I'm going to get influenced by you all. So I'm not asking people for recommendations. I get way too many of those as it is. And that's sort of the problem. I have lists all over the place. I keep track of books I put on my TBRs from people as much as I can. They often just sit there forever or for years, or I forget about who recommended them. I certainly do read a ton of recommendations from the Booktube community. By osmosis, I pick things up without realizing they've influenced me. However, I want to make some immediacy to the action here. So it doesn't have to be necessarily monthly, but I do want there to be a direct connection between a book that was recommended from someone and very quickly picking that up and kind of communicating that I picked it up because of somebody talking about it, and boosting that signal of also talking about that book and sharing it with others. So that is going to be a big goal this year, to kind of more immediately turn around hearing about a book from somebody on Booktube and reading it. Number 4, this is the one that's at odds with everything and was also very inspired by Booktube. So right now on Booktube, everyone seems to be very engaged with the 24 and 24 or the Read What You Own, or both. And so I've mashed those two together. So I'm going to do, for my start of the year, the first 24 books I read are going to have to be books I own. So I have one caveat to that, and that's audiobooks, because I don't buy audiobooks, I get them all from the library. So that is also my loophole for the previous goal. So my nonfiction browsing goal is going to fit in here because I can go browse the shelf at the library, pick out a book, and then find the audio. So for the first couple-ish of those, that's how I will be dealing with that. So I'm very excited about this because I have so many books on my shelves, especially now I'm reorganizing my shelves after having refloored my house and realizing I have all of these really cool books, or even sequels and series that are just sitting there waiting for me to read and I haven't touched them. And I really need to prioritize those. My problem is not with buying books. I don't spend a lot of money on books, and I do buy quite a lot of books, but not more than I can read usually. I just don't get to them because I go read the library books more often. So the library is actually my problem much more than buying books. And I think that's quite different from most people that are doing Read What You Own challenges. But this is just a push to get to the books that are already on my shelves, much more than I have been. The rest of the goals are all more conceptual, I guess. They do have specific numbers of books associated with them, but they aren't numeric goals. Number 5 is reading the Booktube prize. I definitely know I want to participate and I'm signed up to read for the Booktube prize, and I would like to do 2 rounds again. I have participated in 2022 and 2023 and really enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading in 2023 for the semifinal and final round, and I think that's what I'll do again. So that entails at least 6 books over 2 months per round. So probably another 12 is my number here. But I've enjoyed it. It's expanded my horizons as far as reading. I've picked up things that I probably never would have otherwise. And I've enjoyed participating in the prize, so why not do it again, really? Number 6 is another prize, the Guin prize. This prize has the most exciting nominees. I did a whole video specifically talking about the 2023 prize nominees when they were announced and just kind of my reaction to it. I didn't know anything about most of the books, and every single one of them sounds interesting to me. So that's why I want to read them all. Similarly, I've really enjoyed the 2022 nominees, so I am looking forward to some really inventive stuff in the nominee list for 2023. And it took me way too long to read the 2022 list. So getting to 2023's list, I want to read it all by the time that the next list is announced, which should be around October. So I already have one of those on my shelf, in fact. I have yet to haul it though, so you should be seeing a haul sometime soon. But that means it also will count for my other goal, so that's already helping me. So yeah, I'm really excited for the Guin prize. Goal number 7 is my final goal, and it's yet again related to influence. And following up on influence, I want to target reading some of the authors that have been incessantly recommended to me, directly, me personally, but I never read. So these are all like pretty big names, I would say. So I want to target to read at least 1 book from each of these authors, and that is China Miéville, David Mitchell, Octavia Butler, and Sarah Waters. And some of these authors I have specific books in mind, others I'm not so sure. So China Miéville, I have 2 of his books, and I think specifically Perdido Street Station I want to target. David Mitchell, I'm so confident I'm going to love that I have bought a couple of his books whenever I see them secondhand, but not the one I want to start with. So everyone has told me Slade House is the book that I'm going to absolutely love. I must read it. And so I'm going to start with that one. I'm going to wait and get to it from the library whenever I finish my 24 challenge. But so that one I'm very nailed in on. Octavia Butler, kind of everyone seems to have consensus that Kindred is a good place to start, and I do have that on my shelves already, so that helps, so I can go there. Sarah Waters, there are many places to start. I do not have any of her books. I know several people have been reading Sarah Waters within the past month, and so every time I've seen that, I've kind of put out feelers of like, what's a good place to start? You know, where do you think? And without specifically, asking them to recommend me which one I should go to. But I'm really excited for all of those authors because people have given me so much confidence This is also the riskiest goal because I've built it up so much in my head that I'm going to love these, and people have really reassured me of that. So if I'm disappointed, that's gonna really break my heart. So those are my goals. That is it. It's so exciting. This feels like following my joy, like my bookish joy, I guess, because this doesn't feel like a list of chores I'm ticking off, to what I was saying earlier. It very much feels exciting and hopeful and about pursuit of enjoyment in my reading. So that is it for my 2024 goals. Let me know down below if you think these are good goals or bad goals. Let me know if you have goals lined up for your reading in the next year, because I love to hear about both goals and plans. That is it for me today. Thank you so very much for watching.